Shawn, you should really get that checked out before that gets any worse. What? Welcome to episode 17 of What's the Buzz podcast. Podcast that keeps you informed and entertained on all things pest control. I'm Jordan.
I'm Shawn.
And together we're here to buzz through the world of pests, big and small. From the latest in pest management techniques to fascinating facts about the critters we all love to hate. We've got the insights you need. It's another week and we're here once again to share our expert advice, real life stories, and practical tips to help you keep your home pest free. So sit back, relax, and get ready to discover what's really buzzing in the world.
Hey, you know what? The other day you did that from memory, but we're still reading off that today.
So, I get performance anxiety.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, we got a guest with us today. We have Chris Azevedo. He is one of our lead technicians. Say hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Perfect. Chris, how long have you been at Bug Zero?
It'll be 8 years Sunday.
8 years on Sunday is your work anniversary?
Yep.
Wow.
Work
Anniversary. So we'll get to know a little bit more about Chris towards the end of the episode, but he's going to be here to chip in his expertise as well. So let's kind of recap last episode. I mean, it kind of sounded like Halloween theme song, but a little bit. Yeah. So last week was a pretty short episode, just telling some crazy pest control stories and a
story of the old woodring,
a makeshift crawl space. Yeah, the old woodring house.
Yeah.
Good times.
Did you guys have a good Halloween?
Yeah, passed out candy. Got to see some cool costumes.
Did you go trick or treating, Jordan?
I was in Las Vegas on Halloween, so that was an interesting experience in itself.
Yeah.
But, we did have a Halloween party for the kids on Saturday night, so they got to, decorate cookies and eat all the candy they wanted.
Did you guys do the bobbing for apples?
No. Once again, COVID killed bobbing for apples.
Oh,
so
all those centuries prior to COVID, bobbing for apples was okay.
Yeah. Even the plague didn't have anything on COVID. So,
alrighty then. Hey, I got a good joke for you today.
Oh, can't wait to hear
it. Why are A's like flowers?
I don't know.
You don't know, Chris? You know?
Mm-mm.
Because bees come after them.
That was a pretty good one.
It's all right.
Yeah, not as good as Denny's.
Yeah. You got one?
Yeah, I do.
You got a joke today?
Yeah. What do you call a snail on a ship?
Snellmageddon.
Not quite. A snailer.
A snailer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fresh salt water is good for me.
So, our main topic today is November 1st started our winter services cycle. So, sometimes there's a lot of confusion with clients and what gets done on the exterior services during the wintertime and the interior services during the wintertime. So we just kind of want to take this time to explain what happens on InsectaShield in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Let's start with winter interior services. So those are always going to be scheduled and confirmed with you guys. Chris, you're our residential guru here.
Yeah.
Let's break it down for them.
Yeah, I've pretty much done probably the whole 8 years residential. So the winter interior involves a little bit of web removal from the garage, detailed application with both liquid and dust products. Those dust products are going to be prominently in wall voids or any sort of crevices that we can get, but, out getting it into living spaces. The liquid is going to be, corners prominently, just along the wall junctions. And then we got the attic inspection and treatment. It'll get that same dust application. We typically flip-flop the dust applications from year to year. Unless you have that plus brown recluse service, then we prominently stick with ones that are more geared towards your brown recluse issues. Outside of that, some of your houses that have the interior access crawl spaces, like the ones in the garage or just off the basement, we'll gain entry to those during that service as well. The rest of them that are on the outside, we'll go ahead and follow up with that on the winter exterior service.
Yeah. Shawn touched pretty early on there. We do schedule this with you in advance. This first go around, the first couple months. So talking about the winter rotation, we start in November and we end in February. So this first go around, we're just going to message you like it's normal. So if you're home, we're going to get to you. That second time, we're going to give you about a week's notice. That way you can schedule a time that you can be home with us. We can make sure we get that done. So Chris mentioned the dust product. So this is the one time a year where we are scheduled to go inside, excluding, if you have plus brown recluse, like you mentioned, we come inside, scheduled one additional time in the summertime. But with that dust product is a long lasting product that'll last you basically until the next time we're scheduled to come inside.
Yeah, there's a little bit of overlap, I would say, on the dust product. Yeah, it's long lasting, and we really strive to get that applied.
So you touched on you have something?
Yeah. So a lot of times we show up for services and attic access isn't cleared away. And a lot of times people don't think it's that big of a deal. Along if you have an interior crawl space, access too. So the attic is super important for us. That dust product lasts, typically up to 10 months as long as it's not disturbed. So, you might not see the pest activity in your living space or outside during the wintertime. A lot of times these pests are harboring in your attic, in your wall voids, in your crawl space, trying to overwinter. So it's super important for us to get up there, get it done. And we like to do those attics in the wintertime when we're inside because it's cooler outside. That dust product lasts. And on those warmer winter days or the warmer spring days where things start moving around, that product's still going to be there. It's still going to be active. It's still going to be working. So even though it might be a pain in some people's homes to get access to that attic, it keeps your home protected. And the crawl space inspection, we're obviously inspecting for termites and we're doing the dust application in the crawl space as well. And so that makes it less of a hassle later on if you start seeing things that are moving around your home where we need to get in the attic or the crawl space. We don't have our guys getting up in the attic in the middle of the day in the summertime when it's 100 degrees outside. It's going to be super early in the morning. And also it's for scheduling. A lot of people have a busy schedule. We want to get it all done at the same time. Right.
And what I was going to lean into, which you kind of touched on, but it reveals a lot more than just your pest issues when we're doing those inspections. So, and Chris can attest to this too, but we find all kinds of things in crawl spaces, whether it's down ductwork, which we can make recommendations on fixing. I'm sure you don't want to heat your crawl space in the wintertime. But moisture issues, there's
found leaky pipes.
I mean, leaky pipes can lead to plants and all kinds of stuff. So we're not necessarily just getting down there for treatment. We're looking for a lot of different things when we're doing these physicals.
And we send those messages out, but a lot of times there's confusion. It might be a long text, we just want everybody to be prepared, know what to expect when we show up for the winter interior service, the winter exterior for your InsectaShield.
Right.
So,
yeah, I think some of the common confusion is doing the crawl space on the inside when it's outside, or some people have a little bit of they think crawl space or attic one of the same thing, and there is a little bit of confusion when it comes to that too.
Yeah. So to simplify that and to clarify, if you have an interior access and we're doing your interior service, interior access meaning crawl and attic, we're going to do that on the interior service. If you have an exterior crawl, we're going to do that on our exterior portion.
Yeah.
So,
which leads us into the exterior services.
The exterior service.
Right. So you're not home for these most of the time, unless you work from home, which we've seen a lot since COVID.
Yeah.
You mentioned COVID.
I mentioned COVID. Yeah.
And so if your crawl space access is on the outside of the home, that's the service we're going to inspect and treat your crawl space. And so a lot of those do get rescheduled, even though we send the messages out, because there's a lot of people that have a locked crawl space. And so our technician shows up, goes to the crawl space door, it's got a lock on.
Yep.
So
Seen that before. Sometimes we'll try to get those during the winter interior because everybody's home, everybody's available, and we try to make it as easy as possible. But in case.
So what other things do we do on InsectaShield for the winter exterior?
Well, the crawl space is the big one. Most people don't get into their crawl space, and like Jordan here was saying, we do, although we're not experts on, HVAC and things like that, we will notify you if something doesn't look right. I've seen, leaky pipes. I've seen one time where a shower drain was just not connected to anything. It was just pouring into their crawl space.
I've seen the same thing, but it was their entire plumbing system.
Yeah.
Shower, toilets, everything. It was a brand new build, and they always wondered why their crawl space had moisture, and they had box fans set up inside. And I always have to go down and check it every service for them. Yeah, there is one service where she was washing dishes, and I heard the water. I started looking around, and the plumbing contractors did not finish the plumbing in that house.
Yeah, that's a huge liability. Because the big thing is we're looking for termites, but when it comes to wood destruction, moisture is gonna outbeat termites any day of the week. So yeah, we look for termites, and we also do a similar dust application to the crawl space as well. On top of servicing the equipment, making sure the rodent stations are topped off this time of year, it's pretty crucial. They're looking for harboring points, and probably going to touch base on rodents here in a bit. And then we also do an additional dust application while we're removing webs from the exterior there. That way, when spring rolls around, we could tell how much spider activity is going on around the exterior, and getting a little bit of prevention at the same time.
Yeah. So we've talked about it a few times, but this is definitely our least convenient service, but one of the most important throughout the year that we're getting taken care of.
I mean, one of the mainstays of InsectaShield is termite monitoring. So, and so that comes with that inspection annually.
Yeah, and the crawl space stays pretty well acclimatized throughout the year. You got that ductwork that's ran through it, and the heat that you're pumping into your house is just radiating off all the ductwork. So it's kind of a break for us technicians too, when it's super cold outside and we get to go.
So you just hang out in people's crawl spaces,
from time to time. Might catch up on my TikToks and
read a good book.
Read a good book.
Yeah,
some of them are encapsulated, really clean, really nice.
So that's the reason why pest control is important year round. One of the reasons, right? And now you guys know what to expect when we come to your house, what we're going to do each service this coming winter. And so, sorry, excuse me. Had a tickle in my throat there.
That's not good.
Yeah.
I told you need to get that checked out.
Well, time is money.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into, we'll go ahead and go into rodents. How about mice? This time of year, I know we've discussed it before, talking about fall stuff, but weather's officially changing. It's been a crazy, weird past 3 or 4 months with the weather.
Yeah.
It's been dry, and now we have a lot of flooding going on, so that's pushing things up to where they're normally not at it, as well as the weather change.
Right. Temperatures dipping at night.
Yeah.
And things. Find some warmth somewhere nearby.
The big thing with mice is they're vectors, so they carry disease. The hantavirus is a big one.
Histoplasmosis.
You spelled it?
Histoplas.
I don't know about it. He tried. But I mean, the hantavirus, it can be transmitted through their droppings, through their saliva, urine, nesting material. It's going to be in there. So, that's why we have the exterior rodent stations in place. to prevent them from getting into your home and being reactive versus proactive.
Mm-hmm.
Another right now, something kind of unique. So the leaf litter that we deal with, especially after big rain, nice moisture, not only mice, but it provides extra cover if it's up close to your house. So just another area for them to hide.
Yeah. So some tips there.
Rake the leaves
Get the leaves away from your house.
or blow the leaves.
Yeah, that's going to help with a wide variety of pests, especially on those warm days. Even ants, you'll find them hunkered down and not moving, but as soon as that warm day hits, they're going to be
Exclusion.
Yeah,
Exclusion.
exclusion is the biggest part.
Any gap that's a 1/4 inch or greater needs to be sealed up.
Yeah.
So, the rodent stations, how they work. A lot of people think they're traps. So once again, that's where our education comes into play. They're not trapped. It's not going to trap anything inside of it. They hold bait. Rodenticide in particular. Rodenticide is a blood thinner. It's just a lethal dose for a mouse. And so how typically that's going to work is the mice are going to go in there and feed off the bait. Kind of like when we get sick and we don't feel good, we're going to go lay down, try to rest it off. That's how they start feeling sick. They go back to their nest and they die that way.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Just a little tip here, and it's kind of in the process right now. It's probably not common knowledge, but rodenticide is going to be one of those restricted use products, possibly within the next few years. And with that, it's probably a good thing, because how many times have we seen, old rodenticide laying out where it shouldn't be? But don't take that stuff lightly if you're gonna.
I'm glad you brought that up, because it slipped my mind today. I was going to bring it up. How about the people that, we go to their house and they're like, hey, can you throw a block of that rodent bait under my barbecue grill?
Right.
Or, there's certain laws, and labels a law for us, but there are certain no-nos.
Yeah, that being one. I've been to a house where we have these contract meal packets, and they were just thrown up against the house all the way around the outside, and that is against the law.
I did a recent walkthrough of it was one of the surrounding cities here in Springfield, their city bid, and in their senior citizen center, their current provider used to just hand them meal packets to the staff to place out on their own. And I walked into the dry food storage area, and the staff had opened the packets and scattered it all through underneath the shelf. And I said, "Holy smokes!"
Yeah, I've followed behind another company, did what we call a per request, a one-time service. But
Speak up a little. I want to hear you today.
Followed up behind another pest control company for a one-time service. We call them per requests. And the previous pest control company, I don't have a name. They just had bait underneath the sink, hard block bait, some behind the fridge. And this client of ours had a toddler just crawling around, and that's the scary thing of it is, this stuff is bright colored. For an untrained eye, it can very well look like candy, and we take it very seriously. And those are
all of our bait you're going to find in tamper-resistant stations.
Yep.
And typically, childproof, out of reach. We don't normally put bait inside of living spaces. There's certain things we can use above drop ceilings or attics or in the crawl space, but the prevention side of this, mice aren't bad for the environment. They do play a role in the ecosystem, especially in the food chain.
Mainly in the food chain.
Yeah, mainly in the food chain, but they do carry disease and they do damage. I've seen where commercial accounts have had, thousands of dollars worth of damage to like stored equipment and stuff like that. And when by the time they notice it, it's pretty extensive.
And that varies too, because it's gone anywhere from high-end, tech equipment to food storage to everything in between, wires and cars, and pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to add on mice in general?
Yeah, maybe, we said exclusion. Maybe asking y'all what, y'all have done pest control. I mean, at one point in time, y'all were sitting in my seat. What were some of the common exclusion points that you come across?
Garage doors.
Actually, I've never sat in that chair.
Well,
The exact chair.
yeah, that's why it's pretty clean, huh?
Yeah, garage doors are big.
Garage doors. Yeah. Sealed food containers too. So not necessarily just an exclusion issue, but I've seen dog food in their garage, and that was the attract because they have just a tiny gap right there.
Advertisement,
Let's
right?
Yeah.
let's talk about that just real quick. Dog food has
Vitamin K.
Yep. So if they have access to dog food, they might be eating off the bait.
Yeah.
That is an antidote for them. Yeah, vitamin K. So they could eat off the bait block in our rodent station, go inside the garage,
Neutralize it.
neutralize it by eating some dog food. So we always recommend to keep your dog food in a secure plastic type storage.
Yeah, maybe even time feeding too,
Mhm.
to where you're not leaving it out constantly.
And just a little bit of nerd facts on mice. They do have horrible eyesight. The 3 blind mice isn't that far off,
Right.
so they do use their whiskers and try to stay against walls. And so usually when you see them scatter across the floor, they've been spooked, and so they don't really know where they're going. They're just going, and they're nocturnal most of the time too. So a lot of people might hear things in their attic, and they'll call us. And one of the first questions I always ask is, do you hear it all the time? Do you just hear it at night? Just hearing it at night, it might be mice in the attic, but if you're hearing it all the time, it's probably not.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And then just reproduction in general. So obviously mice reproduce super quick. They live in nests together. They're pretty social by nature. So usually when you get one, there's a high possibility that you're going to get more. So keep that in mind. It can get out of control pretty quick. We've seen it quite a few times. So usually by the time we're getting in there, so we'll get it, get in there, hundreds and hundreds of mice, whatever it is, food service, food storage.
yeah. Well, then we talked about the winter cycle for us and InsectaShield and some mice issues. Customer questions. Time for some customer questions. I got one today that was kind of out there. Okay. Do you guys take care of possums?
We refer that out.
Can we? Yes. But we've discussed this before, right? Like on wildlife, it's certain situations. We do like to refer that out.
Yeah.
So
Chris mentioned earlier something. We're not experts in it. We're experts in the, insects. So we stick to what we're best at for the most part.
absolutely. Let's go to our 5-star review of the day.
What's it going to be?
2 days ago from Brandy Wisdom. Most companies would not even call me back once they realized where our house was, 45 minutes from Springfield. Not only did they call me back, but were willing to service us. When the tech arrived, Aaron, I believe, he was extremely professional and friendly. I told him my concerns, and he walked me through each step and explained everything he was doing. I was very pleased with their service and would strongly recommend. So, thanks, Brandy, and good job to Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron.
That was definitely some sound wisdom there.
Sound wisdom. You're bringing the heat today, man.
No,
You're bringing the heat. So, brings us down to the part of the episode where we get to know Chris a little bit more. Chris, you've been at Bug Zero 8 years Sunday. It's coming Sunday. How long have you been at Elite Tech?
Almost 3 years. 3 years July.
It's been that already.
Yep.
So what are your primary day-to-day duties as a lead technician at Bug Zero?
Well, I'd say the biggest primary duty is quality assurance checks. Not that we don't trust the guys, we just want to make sure everybody's on the same page and getting the same quality service done. So it's part of my job to double check that. see how things are going. You may see me from time to time knocking on your door and seeing if I can perform one of those quality assurance checks.
Talk about performance.
Yeah.
Trust and verify.
Yeah.
Big things.
Yeah.
We're in a very unique field. Most fields you work pretty closely with your coworkers and you can see, what they're doing and how they're doing and all of that. But in this field, you're out in your own territory most of the time. So it's crucial that we get out there and make sure that everyone's getting the same service every time.
Definitely. Definitely.
What is one of the biggest challenges that you have in your current role?
Yeah.
Is that a tough one for you?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. No.
I mean, trying to think here.
You want to circle back around to that one later?
Yeah, we'll do that.
You want to do that one? Before you worked at Bug Zero, what did you do?
Well, I was in the military for 6 years. I also worked with special needs kids. And then I worked in a factory. And that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And your last position before here, what did you take from there and apply here?
Well, attention to detail. A lot of people in this area are avid hunters. Talk about all the big game they've had to kill, but when you're hunting for a tiny ant, that gets quite difficult.
Yep.
It's easy to spot a water buffalo, but you're trying to spot an ant when there's thousands of leaves on the ground.
Yeah.
You're married. You have 2 kids. How long you been married?
Since 2018.
2018.
Yep. I got a 4-year-old and 1.5-year-old.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. You ready for the hot fire?
Yeah. What was it again?
All right. Coffee or tea?
Oh, like, do I want to spill the tea?
No. Okay. No. You did not. You're right. You're right. I set him up there. Shawn
Gets excited and doesn't explain. Here's what it is. Rapid fire questions, and it's just quick answers. Whatever comes to your mind first.
And then
Don't think too much.
That's the coffee.
That's coffee or tea,
Caffeine.
whatever else.
Well, what's the most popular?
It's for you to decide, I guess.
I mean, you've had how many of these?
would you prefer? It's a what would you prefer question.
Oh, well, I was going to make it more based on what has been done. That way someone can see what hasn't.
Oh my gosh. You're thinking too much about it. It's going to be a terrible.
Yeah. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Whiskey or beer?
Whiskey.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Summer or winter?
That's a tough one. We'll go with summer.
Favorite holiday?
Labor Day.
Is that because you're off?
Yep.
But you're off on other holidays.
Yeah, but it's the one that I get prominently to myself pretty much. So.
Oh, okay. So it's like a holiday.
Yeah, holiday. It's
all right.
Like a total sweatpants day.
Favorite holiday food?
Favorite holiday food?
Coming up.
Yeah, shoot. That's tough.
All right, I'll simplify this. Turkey or ham?
Turkey.
Green bean casserole or cream corn?
Green bean casserole.
Cream corn.
Yeah, man.
All right, here's one. Favorite local restaurant? No chains.
Favorite local restaurant?
Yeah.
That would have to be, and I think we just had gotten their service. Azevedo. Me and my wife go there every year for our anniversary, and it's the best steak in town.
So, steak or chicken?
Steak. Come on now.
Emo's Pizza or Taco Bell?
Taco Bell.
What?
Oh, we love emos. No, that's good.
Broncos.
Date night. So it's date night. What? You're taking your wife out for a date.
Is it geared towards me or her?
Let me finish here, Chris. You're going out to dinner. what's your go-to restaurant and what are you getting there? And then to follow that up, what's your top date night activity?
Me and my wife are going out. We're probably going to Sakura's sushi place. And I get the green monster roll, and we typically share the pirate roll. And then we eat sushi. And she likes to change it up every time. But we typically get gyuzas as appetizer.
You're seeing a lot of hard spelled words today. So what's your follow-up activity?
If we're going out to dinner, it's usually something we plan ahead. I really enjoy that painting with a twist. That's pretty fun. It's BYOB or BYOW. And they pretty much you schedule it. They teach you how to paint the painting that you schedule, and it usually turns out great. And I've watched so many Bob Ross videos and never been able to get that happy tree just right, but they help you with it.
They help you a little bit?
Yeah.
So
last the booze.
Last one here. What are your top 2 hobbies outside of work? I've heard that you suck at video games, especially Fortnite. So what are your top 2 hobbies?
Video games being one. Sometimes I do play with old patty cakes over here.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only guy I know that could shoot around any target. And I love spending time with my children. I really do appreciate having kids. And they grow so quick, and I don't want to miss any part of it.
Anyways, we hope we brought some knowledge to you to clear up some confusion going forward in this winter cycle of services. Kind of educated you a little bit on the mice, and you got to meet Chris here. But we'll be back next week with another episode. Bringing the heat, delivering knowledge. What's the Buzz podcast, right?
That's right.
So
what's this? Is this a weekly show or?
Yeah.
And so
we do it weekly. Now when we first started this, we had a goal of doing one every other week, and we struggled with that because we were so hammered and we were so everybody was everywhere and we didn't have the time. Now we got Paul promoted to the HR coordinator, which he came on an episode. We're fully staffed and we got time to push these out every week. But yeah, we love to highlight local business. If you want to be a guest on our show, just give me a call or shoot me an email to sales@bugzero.com. If you have any questions you want us to answer on the episode, go to our Facebook page, hit like and share, leave a comment on the Facebook page, shoot me an email. We'll get those questions answered on the next episode. Is there anything else you want to add before we sign off?
You can also find us on the Bug Zero website now as well, which has the video and also take you to our audio and Spotify.
It'll take you, I think multiple platforms from there.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening. And until next time on What's the Buzz, I'm Shawn.
Jordan.
I'm Chris.
And we'll see you next time. See ya.
Creepy crawlers invading your home? Bug Zero. Spiders, ants, and flies? Oh my. Bug Zero. Bed bugs and mosquitoes leave you itchy for help? Bug Zero. Whether it's bugs in your home or bugs eating your home, Bug Zero has you protected. With both residential and commercial services, Bug Zero's comprehensive pest protection takes you from infestation to extermination.